morning, Africa. Welcome to Daybreak Africa from the Voice of America. I'm James Barker in Washington. Today is Tuesday, November 6th. And here are some of the stories we are covering. Cameroon separatists are claiming their forces have rescued about 80 abducted students.
The latest we have now is our restoration forces stormed the vicinity where the children were being kept, and they were able to free them.
Chris Anu is Secretary of State for Communication of the Ambazonia separatist movement of Cameroon. Meanwhile, the Cameroon government is vowing to find and rescue the students. A South Sudan rebel spokesman released last week says he was never tortured in prison. And an international conference calling for a war crimes court in Liberia kicks off this Thursday.
Northwestern Cameroon.
A spokesman for the self-proclaimed Ambazonia separatist movement says their forces have rescued about 80 students abducted from a Presbyterian secondary school in Cameroon's English-speaking region. Chris Anu, Secretary of State for Communication of the self-proclaimed independent Ambazonia, says the students could be turned over to their parents as early as today, Tuesday. Cameroon Information Minister Issa Chiroma Bakari told VOA late Monday night that he had no knowledge about the release of the students. Chris Anu denies the separatists kidnapped the children. He says the children were abducted by what he called French Cameroon army to blame it on the separatists.
The latest we have now is our restoration forces stormed the vicinity where the children were being kept, and they were able to free them. And so right now, they are still in our custody. We're trying to find out, interview them to know what happened.
So, Chris, you say our restoration forces. Who kidnapped or who abducted the children? Your forces?
No, our forces did not abduct the children. What we are finding out is that French Cameroon soldiers disguised as our restoration forces. I mean, one of them actually put on some fake mustache to look like one of our boys, and they abducted the children. Now, you have to understand, they picked up altogether 90 people, students, including some of their teachers. Of course, you don't need to be told that our boys do not have the capacity or capability to abduct 90 people. We have actually gotten intelligence that the soldier who was captured in that video is from the center region, and it is a soldier in the French Cameroon army.
How did you know that the person in that video interrogating the children is a member of the, what you call, French Cameroon army?
He has been identified, and the name is actually identified as we speak. If you listen to his accent, he speaks like somebody who is a predominantly French speaker, because we use pidgin language. Most of our restoration boys, they use pidgin, but if you listen to his pronunciation, he cannot even pronounce the word Ambazonia. So we realize he isn't one of us from the southern Cameroon. He is a French Cameroon army agent sent to pick up those students so that they can turn around and say, Ambazonian restoration forces, they are terrorists, and they are now kidnapping children.
The latest story we have is that the government says its military intelligence services are working to rescue the 80 kidnapped students and their principal. The government is blaming it on your movement.
Well, the government of French Cameroon is always selling after the market. Remember, we had no reason, absolutely no reason to kidnap students or their teachers and principals. At the beginning of the school season, we made it very clear that we have no problem with school resumption as far as there was security. Why would we then go around and pick them up?
If you say that your forces have released these children, when do you think the people of Cameroon or the people of Ambazonia or the parents of those children can see their children? The world will be watching you to put them on display.
Absolutely. If they have not yet been sent to their respective homes, I believe that will be done probably early tomorrow. The only reason we kept them for a while, the sheer number is great, and we needed to interview them to know their story, know how this incident took place.
Chris, thank you very much again. We look forward to maybe as the day break on Tuesday to seeing these children, if in fact they have been released.
Absolutely. You will see them tomorrow.
Chris Anu, Secretary of State for Communication of the Ambazonia Separatist Movement of Cameroon. You're speaking with me from the U.S. city of Houston in Texas.